God has set the time, beginning of time and end of time. So God knows everything. Now, if God, if something is happening, in reality, do God really know it or not? Because He has already set time of beginning of time and end of time of planet and maybe of universe too. So whoever believes in God to be true, they know truth, like what God knows truth. Maybe. But did really God set time? Because He knows what is truth about humans and genies who are in reality, and about everyone who are in reality of planet or in universe maybe. So if any genie says that did you sin or not to human or to genie who is in reality, if he says he did not sin, then do genies needs a proof that the human has not sinned, or they can find out truth by believing in God that human has not sinned, because God cannot be wrong. When genies believe in God to know whether human has sinned or not, or genie has sinned or not, they will come to know truth. Because God has already set time. And genies must know that whether human or genie has sinned who are in reality or not. If they say what God knows we know that only, then how can they say that God has already set time? If genies believes in God to be true, they must know everything. Like how and why humans sin, or why human has not sinned. So who sinned? Who controlled human and sinned? And if someone says that we are trying to erase, that we force you to sin, to human or to genie, who is in reality of planet, did that time, was the time made by God only? Because everything, the time was set by God only. So if God comes to know this, do he lost from them or not? And it's not possible for anyone, any genies or anyone to win from God, because God has set time. Who is that who can win from God? And how they can win from God? If winning from God means just very easy to win from God by forcing the human or the genie who is in reality to talk that they have sent, and the God believes that they have sent, and the genies believes that they have, the human or genie has sent, and to change time back again for genies. So God believes that the human has not sinned. The human and genie says from talking, we have sinned. So genies and God believes that human or genie has sinned who is in reality. So what is God actually? Because he is changing on knowing talking of human or knowing talking of genie. And what is talking of human or what is talking of genie? When human understands or thinks or thoughts or dreams or remembers memory, it's talking for genies and talking for God. It means that. And for genies, like if they come in reality, if some has mind, then they and if they are able to understand, then it means same. Like when genie understands, when they are able to understand, then genies and gods come to know that as talking. And for dreams, thinking, remembering memory or thought, genies can do it. But genies has to know how to do that. They have to be original. They have to be natural genie. So if any genie says and changes quickly by saying we know that human has sinned, we know what God knows. So God already knows everything. God has set time. So why he does not know truth? If God knows what human will be doing and how he will be doing, as he has made time of human to do something, then God knows what is truth. And if human even dreams or remembers a memory or thinks or thought or talk in non-sequence talking, then he knows truth that human will be doing like this because he has set the time of human to do it. And the same to genies too, who are in reality, because he has set time. He claims that he has set time of beginning of time and end of time. So how can God does not know truth that whether human has sinned or not? Even if someone tries to change time and forces human to do sin or forces genies to do sin, is that true that someone like genies who are believers of God only are able to change time of human or genie who is in reality and they try to erase the memory that they force human or genie to sin through talking of human or talking of genie only? Then will God and genies punish human or genie who is in reality when human or genie just talks and says they have sinned or they have not sinned? So what is God? God cannot be like this, because God is forced to change on knowing talking of human, or God is forced to change on knowing talking of genie. In everything has a genie sense. who is in reality. Like by talking of genie, I mean from those genies who understand, who are able to understand, or think, or remember memory, or thought, or dream. How is this possible that believers of God only, like genies, who says they are genies, they have their own God and they are able to change time of anyone and prove that they are true? It cannot be possible. If time has already been set by God only, then prove whether human has sinned or not, whether genie has sinned or not in reality, whether human has to sin or not, whether genie has to sin or not in reality. If human does not have to sin, then why he sinned? God must know truth. And if God can simply investigate, he can find out truth. Then why he does not find out truth? Why he does not investigate? What is the reason? Because God is changing on talking of human, and God is changing on talking of genie only. If he wants to know truth, he can simply investigate it and provide the result and set back time again to true. Set back time again to correct time which he has made. Why he is not fixing the time to what he has made? What is the reason? Like, for example, take an example. If I say that I have sinned, like for example, I will do something which is sin in reality. It's just a example. I'm not going to do sin. So I just did something sin in reality, and I saw it and I heard it, or I came to know it. I saw it. Most probably I saw it and heard it. I saw it. Now I remembered this, that I sinned. Now I'm talking, just talking and saying that I sinned. Or I'm just remembering that how I sinned and why I sinned. Or I'm just remembering I sinned. And the genie then, God says that yes, it's true, you have sinned. You must get punished. On knowing my talking, they are saying you have sinned. Now again, when I'm just saying from talking, I did not sin. Even after I did sin, I'm saying I did not sin. And I proved that it was some genies who controlled me and forced me to sin. I just talked and said this. And you know that genies and gods believes in them who says they are true. If it is true, then genies and God says you are true. Just like I said, I sinned, and genies and God believe that yes, you sinned. But they did not investigate whether I really sinned or not from the world of God by investigating whether genies controlled me or not. Because in my time, which is set by God, I'm not forced to sin. So who is changing my time? Who changed my time? In example, genies and God is changing. When I'm just saying through talking, the genies and gods are changing. If they know truth already, Whether someone forced me to sin from world of God and from reality. I did not know about world of God and genies. So I just did sin in reality by seeing and hearing it. I did not come to know about genies or God or genie, believers of God. Now, when I came to know it, that genies forced me to sin, I said, yes, I sinned because genies forced me to sin. I did not knew about it. So I'm saying that this from my talking, which is understanding and thinking or remembering memory or dream. Now genies and gods just believe in truth, exact truth. If I just tell them that I sinned because of a genie who forced me to sin, his name, by saying through talking, they believe in truth. Yes, you are true. But did really God knows that he has set time already of me, and beginning of time and an end of time? He proves again and again. He has set time of beginning and end. He proves, he claims, he is only God. So why he is forced to change when I say I sinned and when I say when I did not sin? The world of God believes in truth. Whether someone says they have sinned or not, it must not matter. On just saying that I sinned, the time is being changed. On just saying that I did not sin, the time exactly on exactly that, by saying truth, by remembering memory, which genie forced me to sin, the time is being changed. But in the beginning of time, in the beginning of time and end of time, just like the God, I mean, God has made the beginning of time and end of time. So he knows that whether I was going to sin or not. So according to him, if I was not going to sin, then why God did not fix the sin by saying he has not sinned? Ahmed has not sinned. I investigated truth and I proved what is truth. Why God has to prove truth? He just has to tell to all genies in the world and maybe in universe, and that's it. Time is fixed for everyone. Now even if I'm saying I sinned, I did not sin, why he is forced to change? Because genies in everything as a genie sense are forced to change on talking of human. Or talking of genies in everything as a genie sense, who are in reality. And from reality, when they come to know talking of human or talking of genie, they say that future time continues and made or changed. So how can God say that he has already set time of future? Because the time is being said by made of future, by time made of future, I mean by set time of future. So just from reality, talking of human or talking of genie in everything as a genie sense, known to genies and known to world of God and God. The world of God continues. The God sets time, and they are forced to change. Do you believe in this God to be true? How is this possible that no, those who says they are God, they does not know truth? And why they are forced to change? Or knowing, talking of human, or talking of genie? If genies in everything as a genie sense are really true, if God is really true, why he is forced to change? Or knowing, talking of human, or knowing, talking of genie? Human is real. They don't change on talking of another human. They don't change on talking of genie. But genie and God are forced to change on knowing, talking of human, or talking of genie. Why? Because humans are real. So how can God claim that he has set time of beginning and end, and he is unable, even after setting the time, he is unable to investigate and prove that someone has sinned or someone has not sinned? And he says everything happens by me only because I have already set the time. Why he needs to remember from someone? I mean, why he needs to know from someone? That whether someone has sinned or not. He has already set time. He is forced to change on knowing, talking of human, or talking of genie. Who are in reality. God means who knows everything. If God says to me, in example, you have not sinned, that means finished. I have not sinned. When God says something, everybody comes to know it. Everybody believes in God only, original God only. Everybody believes in original God only. Even if I am God, I say that I have not sinned. Some genies will say that you have sinned. Some gods will say you have sinned. If original God says once, Ahmad has not sinned, then I am sinless. Now, how can any genies or God says I have sinned? Prove me this. Once original God says something, once first God of universe says something, then it cannot be rejected by anyone. Because everybody believes in original God only. Because everybody believes in first God of universe only. If the genies and God says, we know what is the world of God about, and you know what is the world of God about, then there is no one God. There is no original God. There is no first God of universe. Then how can any genie who has a God says that he is God and rules without believing in original God, without believing in first God of universe? I'm sure you learned something beautiful and truth which will never become lie by anyone. This is the beautiful truth, because the world of God needs to become natural. The genies God needs to become natural. Natural like human. By natural like human I mean who are not forced to change on talking of human or talking of genie. By talking of genie or by talking of human, I mean whether human says from whether human says in reality, or through understanding or thinking or thought or dream or memory. The human is natural, and the genies has come from thinking of human only. When human think, then genies appeared, who says they have set time of beginning and end. Otherwise, those who have set time, they would have proved. They and the genies would know new truth, whether human sinned or not, in at the time when human was sinning or not. And nobody would have punished if human was talking and saying he has sinned, he has sinned. Once God says something, then everybody who believes in the one God, who is original God, or who is first God of universe, it happens. So even after God said to me by saying Ahmad is sinless, the other genies and genies God needs to say that I am sinless. So nobody has set time. The time is running because of control of genies who has learned to live and survive by coming to know truth from human only. And genie's power works only when they come to know truth from human and they continue to live. If they don't come to know truth, their power does not work. And you can read my post and date and time which I posted on believerism.com website in my official university. Like there is official university of Ahmad, where you can understand my belief. You need to understand correctly what is truth. A truth which cannot become lie by anyone. Like I said, this is the truth forever, which I said.